Hi everyone, welcome to Crypto Trading KS. I'm Ken. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently trading at 43,727, up 7.28%. Ethereum trading at 3065, up 11.09%. Let's have a look at the Ethereum tokens. SHIB is up 15.47%. I know someone that will be very happy about that. I do these videos to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Uni up 12.18%. Over more than 2 decades of trading, I've created literally thousands of rules. Rule 143, always be learning. Why is learning so important? If you remove the L from learning, you know the benefit of it. Learning is earning. Learning is absolutely fantastic. The more you know, the more profitable you can become. Rule 174, the T-cube method, trend, timing, trigger. We're going to look through the timing. Using the KS method. The first part of the KS method is to look through the news related to Bitcoin as a new user, new investor, new trader would look at Bitcoin. And we'll just read the headlines. Peter Schiff unveils how he would have spent Bitcoin profits. Peter's a gold bug. What's he doing with Bitcoin? He normally slams it. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and these 3 altcoins have huge. Wow, having huge is really positive. Price forecast for Bitcoin, Ether. Ooh, that looks interesting. Crypto market cap taps a 2-month record. Wow, that's awesome. That's very positive. Let's have a look. Oh, you can now buy gift vouchers with ... It must be Bitcoin. Excellent. I love giving gifts. Crypto market rallies. Whew, that's very positive. Prices move past 43K for the first time since May. Whoa, this is great. The markets must be green. Genesis report highlights emerging role of Ethereum. Ooh, Ethereum's doing well. Bitcoin whales suddenly move a lot of money. That must be good. Bitcoin Ethereum looking to push higher. Everything is great. It's really important to understand that news reflects current market sentiment. Now let's have a look if the markets are green. They're looking pretty green, aren't they? Can you imagine if the news was all negative? You would say, what's wrong with these news people? They don't know what's going on. I just dug into that gold article. Peter Schiff said, had I bought Bitcoin when I first heard about it, I would have sold it by now and bought my own jet. That doesn't mean I would buy any Bitcoin now. So how's Peter going with these gold? Oh no, gold's down 14% now. As a past gold trader, I really understand Peter's frustration with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a bit of an animal and it's leaving gold in the dust, unfortunately. But gold always shines under extreme problematic situations. I'm sure we'll get some of those coming up through history. But for now, Bitcoin over the past year, over the past 12 months, has increased 275%. Gold is down 14%. The S&P 500 up 32%. It's not too long ago that the entire crypto market around the 20th of July was heading, supposedly, to 20,000, to 10,000, and actually to zero. What happened? It's gone up so much. It's gone up literally from 1.16 trillion to $1.767 trillion. We can see it's really acting very powerfully. It's cut through this overhead structural resistance and it's making its way through the next level of structural resistance. It's waving up. Now, what do we know as a community? Price always moves in waves. Everything is going up and then down, up and then down. A wave down would be expected. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's technical analysis. Bitcoin is currently trading at 43,576 and wobbling around quite a lot. It's a very busy thing. Bitcoin has resistance above at 43,853, 44,602. Notice this particular structural resistance playing in just around $45,000. That's an important one. I would suggest that you look at episode 173. This is the early warning system for crypto stocks, the stock market, commodities, a wide variety of different things. It's really important to understand that investment occurs within an ecosystem. There is particular call out to that red dotted line, which is a logarithmic structural resistance line. Having a look at episode 173 will really help you out. I'm doing my best to reduce the time on these particular episodes. This logarithmic structural regression line is a little bit hidden. Most YouTubers may not know it exists. They know the arithmetic line structural resistance exists there, but they may not know this one exists. Quite a few people have reached out to me and said, Ken, what's going on with the voting on the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act? Particularly, there's a very specific section on brokers which relates to IRS reporting requirements. The thing to understand is that when it's voted on, it needs to go, of course, into the Senate and be voted on. Then it moves to the House and then across to the IRS. There's a lot of steps in between. If things aren't favorable in the Senate vote, there's still time to amend things to a sensible level. From my experience of trading over many, many years, I would treat this as a slight risk-off event. I think the possibility is that other people could get really freaked out and seek to take profits. What we've seen is Bitcoin and crypto dramatically increase. Let me show you another thing here that could help. If we draw a trend line from that low to that low, just taking it up, we can see it's hugging the price quite well. That is a really steep line. That's very hard to maintain. We would expect a wave down. When we get a wave down, which will probably be around the $45,000 mark, if we do that, people may start to freak out. Don't forget, it's the weekend, or at least approaching the weekend. We need to be just mindful of weekend action because it can be a little chaotic. Overall, we know the long-term structure of Bitcoin is looking really well. It's looking very powerful. We're at the right cycle at the right time. I do my best to guide the community from the middle of the road. If we think about what happened in the 2016 cycle, when we had this big sell-off, which is about the closest thing that we're looking at right now, we had this big rally up. We can see that we're having a big rally up now with Bitcoin. What happened next? There was a sell-off. There was a wave up and a wave down, and then a wave up. Don't be too surprised if price comes down. That's not really the end of the world or anything. It's just really normal price behavior. But it pays to be aware of these kind of things. That presents a unique buying opportunity, not a real risk, just something to be aware of. When we look at Bitcoin, all exchanges' estimated leverage ratio, we see the leverage was increasing, dropped off, and now is sort of decreasing a little. Looking at Bitcoin perpetuals in the futures market, we see that the majority are long across different exchanges. Let's check out the futures. The futures, the majority are long across the large exchanges. When we have a look at the number of margin longs measured in Bitcoins, that's this green line, we see a pretty sharp decrease relative to shorts. We can see the shorts increasing. Notice what's happening to price. It's increasing. Just be a little bit careful. Maybe it might be time, if you're trading, to take a little bit of profit. Don't necessarily take too much. It's got to be your decision. But when I look at something like that, I would start to do a little bit of risk-off behavior. You should always bear in mind that I am a technical trader. I'm not a hodler. I don't hodl things. I just go in and out of the market. If you're holding, that's perfectly fine. You might seek to, when price waves down, as it always does, it's always moving up and down, you may seek to dollar cost average in by buying at support. Remember, experts do not know your needs. Please do your own research and do what is right for you. Looking towards Bitcoin's options expiring at the end of the month, we see total open interest is 21,196.5, put call ratio is 0.62, maximum pain price is 36,000, where the majority of options expire worthless. Let's have a look at Ethereum's technicals. ETH wants to party. Not only does it want to party, it is partying. ETH is currently trading at 30.63. Well done, ETH. It has resistance above at 38.7 and above that at 32.22. Support below 29.88 and 29.13. We always know price is moving at a wave. We never FOMO. We don't fear inside our community. We have a system of buying at support, always lowering your average buy-in price. It's an incredibly profitable strategy. We look extensively through Bitcoin and ETH because they're the dominant players in the crypto market. ETH, all exchanges' estimated leverage ratio was going up, took a hit, and now is increasing. Looking at the ETH futures market, the perpetuals, we remember that Bitcoin was basically green all down that left-hand side, that long side. We can see a little bit of red on the right, the short side. Let's go across to the futures. We can see the futures expiring at the end of September are predominantly long for ETH. Looking at the number of margin longs measured in ETH, which is this green line, the number of margin shorts measured in ETH, which is this red line, we can see that they're basically leveling off. The shorts are increasing slightly. If you would like help with this diagram or this chart, please reach out to me on Twitter and directly message me. This is my Twitter profile at StanfieldKen, and it's got 2 D's in it, just to make it interesting. Let's have a look at the Ethereum options expiring at the end of the month, end of August. Total open interest 160,043, max pain price 2,400, put call ratio 0.55. Over the past 24 hours, 486.72 million in liquidations occurred across 69,064 traders. That's a really healthy volume of liquidations. Over the past 12 hours, around 88% of liquidations were short. We can see that there's not really multi-billion dollar liquidations such as back here. Let's have a look at the 15-minute. Predominantly short liquidations have been occurring today. That's pretty understandable looking at the price. Unless you're an expert, please do not use leverage. It generally wipes new investors and new traders out. I want you to look after your money. The best way to do that is to just buy at spot. If you're not quite sure what spot is, please have a look into it. It basically means that you own whatever it is that you're buying. You can hold on to it forever. You're not forced to sell anytime. It's really important to buy at spot until you get really expert. When you're expert, you're consistently profitable. You can do anything you want because it won't harm you. Let's have a look at psychological safety and liquidations. The current greed and fear index is 69. This is the first time we've had greed in a week. It's getting up there. The greed is increasing. Now, what happens when there is extreme greed in the market? People get pulled into the market. The market reaches a bit of a tipping point. You can see the extreme greed here. And then we get these rather rapid sell-offs pushing up. People buy that dip, extreme greed again, and then people start to get liquidated out. We just got to be aware of things, the market getting too overheated. I'll keep you informed on everything. Maybe I could help you out a little bit more here. If we just were to zoom into this particular price area at the moment, see that just before that peak, what happened was there was so much advertising. People were saying, oh, Bitcoin is never coming down, Bitcoin to 100,000. And I was saying to people, price moves in waves. It would be reasonable to get a decrease in price. Members in our community were looking at this saying, wow, this is fantastic, a chance to dollar cost average in, to buy at support levels. And that's exactly what people were doing. And now it's coming up again. Just remember, price is always moving in a wave. It always goes up and then down, up and then down. It's just the way that markets work. To look into the engine of crypto, this is a really helpful piece of advice. Look for the stablecoin supply ratio, SSR oscillator. We look at this every timing episode. You see this line coming up here, it's increasing. That means stablecoins are being converted into Bitcoin. This means that money is flowing into the crypto market, into stable coins, and that is being pushed into Bitcoin, which is driving the market up. That's a really good indicator to have a look at. Stable coins are coming under the regulatory spotlight. The biggest one is USDT, which is called Tether. Tether has about $62 billion worth. Its paper, commercial paper, is potentially a problem. It's quite opaque. People need to know more information about Tether. There could potentially be a Department of Justice probe into Tether on that basis. If that occurs, probably when that occurs, more the point, we would expect to see some of these reserves coming out of here, people doing a flight to safety to USDC, BUSD, potentially DAI, and PAX. We'll keep our eye on things. This is all part of our early warning system. We're very, very bullish on Bitcoin, but we're very sensible. We also keep our eye on the pulse for anything that can derail us. We don't see anything right now, but as soon as we do, you will be the first to know. Looking into the USDT futures market, if we see multiple billions of dollars being shorted, we could expect that Tether is potentially under problems. We're not seeing that right now. Open interest is very low. Short volume is very low. Let's have a look at the futures. Again, really low volumes. We see no problem with Tether currently. We keep our eye on this every day because so many pairs are actually linked to Tether. If you want to use Tether, I would suggest that you just transfer in whatever it is that you want to buy, whatever particular alt that you want to buy, and don't leave too much in Tether as a balance. Just make sure it's safe. Our community is about real wealth. Real wealth is far more than money. There have been many, many rich people who are very unhappy. You want to be wealthy and happy. Let's look at what Henry Ford says about learning. Anyone who keeps on learning not only remains young, but becomes constantly more valuable. Absolutely. Good on you, Henry. I agree. We should give Henry a high five. We're always seeking to, as a community, understand more and see further than any other community can see. We look at the top 7: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, Cardano, XRP, and DOGE. Let's look at the highest 24-hour percent gainers: Quantum, QTUM, ICP, Ravencoin, RVN, HOT, Clay, AVAX, and VET. Let's go the other way. Greatest losses. They're not really losses at all, are they? Quant, which is like 5%, and then pretty much nothing. That means the market is really green. beware when the market is really green. It generally is a bit of a sign to take a little bit of a risk off position. Just keep that in mind. You may like to just take a percentage out. Let's have a look at the 7-day greatest percent gainers. VGX, RVN, QTUM, BTT, EGLD, Luna, ICP. Let's have a look at the greatest 7-day percent losses. AMP, DCR, Flow, TEL, T-Fuel, Leo, XDC. Maybe just give you a little gem here. When I look at the 24-hour percent gainers and there literally are no losses, that means that people are moving into profit. When profit occurs, people tend to get really greedy and say, wow, I'm going to buy. And then the shorts come in and chill the market down. This is what I've seen so many times, thousands and thousands and thousands of times. What I traditionally do, and what I do, is just take a little bit of profit off the table and just manage that trade. Of course, it's entirely up to you. I just like to share what I've been doing for many, many years in the hope that it helps you. I've done something a little bit fun. I always try to create new ways to give you more and more insight and more value. Even though I do this free 7 days a week, I really think of each and every person inside our community and just ask the question of myself, how can I serve people better? How can I give them more? What I've done here is actually add over 100 different alts all together. They're the highest performing alts. These are around the top 100 from Binance. Some coins don't make it into Binance for a variety of reasons, but just to let you know, this is from Binance. Now what I've done here, you can see this is a 1 day particular level, and all of these really colorful things bumping up and down are the percent gainers. You can see Quantum, QTUM takes our pole position at 37.35%, followed by ICP, RVN, AR, OMG, HOT, Clay, AVAX, Sushi, VET, File, Uni, SHIB, CRV, BTT, MDX, DOGE, and ETH, and DOT. This is really interesting. What I would like to show you here is the structure over here. You can see this is Quantum, QTUM. You see how it's rallied up on a lot of strength. If we look here, this pink line is Ravencoin, RVN. You can see how it has come down in terms of percent, and now it's consolidating. It looks like it's going to try and push up. Now, what's the second one? ICP. ICP has come up quite well. Let's have a look down the list. Going down to the bottom of the list, we see Quant, QNT, and Axie Infinity are the lowest performing alts. It's really good to invest in strength. You know that everything is moving in cycles between different groups. We can see the lowest performers are QNT, AXS, Rune, Theta, Luna, Sand, Flow, EGLD, Carver, XMR. Wow, they're popping around, aren't they? T-Fuel, HNT, IOTA, LSK, HBAR, Bake, Anchor, IOST, Kasama, Ocean, Algo, 0x, Lynx, and Dash. This is just a really interesting way to show you a different perspective on the market. This is how I look at the market. I have literally thousands of these tips and tricks to give you, and after so many years in the markets, I'm really happy to share them with you. Let's go and check Binance derivatives. 24-hour trading volume is 77 billion. 24-hour open interest is around 8.5 billion. We're really interested in these green figures. What we're trying to see is relative strength. 7.6, for Bitcoin. Let's see how it compares to ETH. Wow, ETH is about twice as strong. Impressive. Let's have a look at the other coins. We can see Axie Infinity losing power relative to the rest of the market. It's a relativity perspective that we're looking at. We can see a lot of double-digit gainers coming up, so many that we realistically couldn't read them all out. QTUM doing well, 37.7. Let's have a look at the others. HOT, 17.8. We have some real powerful movers at the moment. Very little red at all. We know inside our community that when there's an absence of red, there's a potential for a wave down. Wave downs don't bother us. It's just a really good time to dollar cost average in, buying at layers, layer buying. It's very, very powerful strategy. I've created some new analysis for you here. I call this the Binance Top 15. These are the top 15 alts ranked by percentage movement. You can see the prices going down here. If I just take the mouse away, you can see the current price. You can see, for example, Ethereum trading at 30.74, Binance 30.54. Now, what we're interested in is not so much the price. We're interested in this relative movement. You can see ICP has come up over the past 24 hours, 24.65%, VET 17.25, Uni around 15, DOGE about 13.5, DOT nearly 13, ETH over 12.5, Matic around 12. You can see Ethereum is this white line, Bitcoin is this yellow line. They're both thick. The two dominant players are very thick. You can see what is outperforming and underperforming in the top 15. So Theta is underperforming. Link, BNB, Litecoin, ADA are underperforming BTC at the moment. This is just a little bit of cool analysis that I thought you might really like. I hope you like it. This gives you a little bit of context. When we go into the technicals, you'll understand how different coins are performing. You always want as much context as you can possibly get inside the market. Binance Coin is currently doing really well. It's trading at 354.90. It's just below resistance at 358 and above that 366.66. Support below 347.07 and 339 even. It's being well supported currently. ADA is performing really well as well. Cardano's current price is 147.43. Support below 144.86, 140.06 and 137.43. Resistance above is that key psychological level of $1.50. Above that, 152.67 and 15600. Let's have a look at XRP's technicals. XRP is currently trading at 78.86, just pretty much at resistance. Resistance above 80.34 and 82.64. Support below 77.37, 75.54 and 73.85. We can see a good technical structure inside XRP. Very, very nice. Price is supported quite well. We always know the price is moving in a wave. It doesn't go straight up and it doesn't go straight down. It's always moving in a wave. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. Doge is currently trading at 22.724. It has support below at 22.200, 21.495 and 21.095. Resistance above at 23.393 and 24.013. There's quite a spike happening in Doge currently. You remember the last spike? When prices go up, it's really hard to support this kind of movement. They tend to have to consolidate. Just be aware of that. That could be a very nice time to dollar cost average in if you're going into Doge. Layer buying is a really valuable technique. That is buying at support levels, as many levels down as you can afford to go. You have to keep in mind the commissions and charges of the platform that you're using. I use Binance, and there's a link in the description if you'd like to click on that. Binance is very good. The fees are very cheap. Some countries are not supporting Binance though, so please do some research into it. In Australia, where I live, Binance has all the required certifications, or I wouldn't use it. It's quite safe in this country, but other countries, it's, I think, expanded too quickly. There are other particular providers out there. Just check their rate structures. You don't want to get crippled by fees. The important thing to understand is if you can afford to buy at support and spread your orders around, what will happen is that some of the lower level orders will not be filled and price can move up. Just take the lowest one, move it above the previous unfilled one. That can be quite a good method. Quite a few people in the community ask me that question. I hope that answers it. Polkadot is currently trading at 21,329, support below 20,881 and $20 even. Also underneath that at 19,569, resistance above 22,095 and 22,661. You'll notice that I've changed to a 30-minute time frame away from the 15. Now, why did I do that? Simply because DOT's on a tear. It's just rocketing up currently. You remember, as a community, we were together when price was going down and down and down and down. People were saying everything is about to collapse, and we were looking at the early warning system, saw no problem at all, saw that Bitcoin was in the right phase of the bull market, and that better times were ahead. We dollar cost averaged in by layer buying at support, and many people inside the community have done quite well. Just bear in mind, this is quite an upward thrust. I would expect, because of my many years in the markets, to be some sort of corrective wave come in here at some stage. That doesn't mean you should panic or anything like that. It's just a great opportunity to buy. I hope you found the content useful. Everything I do for you is free. Please be aware of scammers. Thank you to our moderators for keeping the community safe. I do these videos to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from, and if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates 7 days a week on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. And you can reach out to me directly on Twitter as well. Crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.